to be in front of such bright faces. Let me tell you, I'm seeing the bright faces after almost 2.5 years, because finally we are here without masks. Assalamu alaikum and a global namaste to each and every one of you present here. It gives me great pleasure to have your humble presence here at the prestigious 3rd edition of the Retail Jeweller World Dubai Forum 2022 and the awards which shall be held tonight. It is an extremely special day for all of us today, full of knowledge, of course. Besides the meet and greet with our loved ones, we are here to make the most out of this beautiful day that is today. Ladies and gentlemen, retail is a very dynamic industry, and also if we belong to the gems and the jewelry arena. Yes, it is the rich arena out there which epitomizes luxury, and hence it is very important for us to get into the best zone at every point of time, irrespective of all the challenges faced by us. Ladies and gentlemen, to kickstart this morning, we have a fabulous panel discussion. I'm going to invite the chairperson and our panelists here on stage. And after that, we're going to have the ribbon cutting, the inauguration of the 3rd edition of the Retail Jeweller World Forum, post which we'll begin with a panel discussion. After every eminent panelist, as well as our eminent speakers, we're going to have the Q&A, so please feel free to pen down your questions and ask everyone who's present here. Thank you for the bright smiles. Again, I'm getting to see your smiles after 2 long years. Shukran to each and every one of you. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, to our presenting partners, Dubai Jewellery Group, thank you, Itra Dubai, GJEPC, Gem and Jewellery Exports Promotion Council of India, De Beers Group, Fura Gems, and the National Committee of Precious Metals and Gemstones, Saudi Arabia. I'm truly delighted to meet so many bright faces from Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, a humble thanks to our category partners as well. Thank you to our digital transformation partner, Suntech Business Solution, laboratory partner, SGL, insurance partner, Al-Said Insurance, packaging and visual merchandising partner, JD Group, digital photography partner, Artizone, interior designer partner, Garani Associates, security systems partner, Vostok, diamond technology partner, DRC Techno. Ladies and gentlemen, so let's begin with our first session, the panel discussion, which is the state and the future of the jewelry industry. Impact of CEPA, CEPA, the free trade agreement between India and UAE. And to do the honors towards the big name, to chair the session, please put your hands together as we would like to welcome Mr. Amit Dhamani, the Group CEO of Dhamani Jewels, to moderate our session. It's always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Amit, at the wondrous retail forums, and you're wondering whether to come on stage or no. I know there's a little space left, so this is going to be a challenge for us, but I'm going to please request you to come on the other side of the ribbon, please. Thank you for the applauses. I think they were too huge and humongous. After staying on Zoom, we've also forgotten actually how to put our hands together, but that was a huge roar of applause. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Truly appreciate it. Please join us to invite our panelists to this session, ladies and gentlemen. The chairman of Dubai Jewellery Group, Tawhid Abdullah. Sir, Tawhid, welcome to you here, sir. The vice chairman, Malabar Gold and Diamond, the KP Abdul Salam. Truly an honor to have you here, sir. Our chairman of GJEPC, Colin Shah. Good morning, dear sir. Ladies and gentlemen, may I please request Waleed Kooheji, the chairman of Kooheji Jewellery, to kindly join us here as well. And also, gonna please invite Mr. Graham Alinezi, the President of the National Committee of Precious Metals and Gemstones, Saudi Arabia, to kindly come with him. So I'm going to request you to be in the center on the back side, sir. Thank you, sir. May we please also request Mr. Mark Curtis of Idra, Dubai, to kindly be here with us on stage. Thank you, Mark Curtis. Such a pleasure seeing you here this morning. And Mr. Amit of De Beers to kindly join us here. Thank you. Summit, if you don't mind, it's going to be incomplete without your presence. Please, can we also have you here? I would request Sir Tawhid Abdullah, sir, the chairman of Dubai Jewellery Group, to be in the center and hold the scissors, and everyone to step forward along with sir. At the countdown of 5, we shall have the inauguration, ladies and gentlemen, to the 3rd edition of Retail Jeweller World Dubai Forum and Awards. My humble request to Sir Tawhid Abdullah, sir.
No, I don't have.
So 1 second, there, please request Shoma ma'am to
Credit
please.
card, no?
Shoma ma'am, to please be here for the inauguration, please ma'am. Please, okay. Thank you very much, dear sir. I have the thanks to Tawhid Abdullah, sir, our chairman of the Jewellery Group, and our esteemed dignitaries for doing the honors of inaugurating our 3rd edition. Thank you, dear sirs. Ladies and gentlemen, we're truly thankful to Mr. Graham and Mr. Mark Curtis for doing the honors. And it's time for Mr. Dhamani to take over.
No, not them.
Let me tell you, you're looking much younger than what I saw you last time in our 2nd edition, so congratulations for that. Thank you. Or maybe without the mask now, so it's the magic. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to see so many familiar faces in the room, and also a special delegation from Saudi Arabia and other countries who have been here joining today for the 3rd edition of Retail Jeweller. And thank you for your compliment on looking young. I think I worked hard on it. People who know me from a long time, they know I was struggling with a bad COVID during last of the session, and I made a promise to myself, how we are trying to do healthy company, to do healthy person. And I think this is what the mantra I say. COVID have taught us. We'll forget about COVID after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but healthy as a person, healthy as a company, healthy as an employer, healthy as an employee, I think this should be a mantra for all of us. And what an esteemed panel, you know, when I look at a panel where I see Mr. Tawhid Abdullah, Mr. Abdul Salam, Mr. Colin, and Mr. Kooheji, it really gives me an interesting insight that what is happening with the state of world of jewelry. What better than this amazing panel to give us some insights on that. So just to bring a context to that, you know, we are in an era which is volatility to the maximum which we have seen. You know, nobody could have imagined in March
no have, man, no have.
world will go to a shutdown, countries will be closed, nobody could travel.
Can I call you later?
We had
No, I'm in the event. Can I call you later?
Retail stores, landlords, rents, staff, employees, goods, supplier, and whatever you could have imagined was thrown to us. But you see how resistant the humankind are, and especially our jewelry industry, that we stood back and we came up emerging more stronger. In every parameter, we were able to be proven as a good employer to sustain our employees in a very healthy way, to see and support them during the challenging time. We were able to stand as a good buyer, to stand by our promises to our suppliers and bankers and the industry. So certainly there are many pluses in our industry that has happened. Globally, the jewelry industry is all about $450 million, and the projection is to grow by 8.5% every year. And normally 8.5% looks a single-digit figure, but when you multiply to a figure like that, we are talking in 5 years' time, $430 billion of industry, which is up for take for every segment. And the leaders or the winners and the people who will take this segment is across all chains. It will be a single store retailer, a chain holder, a regional chain, a global chain, international chain. And that's what these kind of conferences bring us to a platform to understand and learn from each other. How other people in different markets, different economies are trying to do with their business, how they're trying to grow their business and economy and the customer. And today's panel, we are in a backdrop of a key agreement, which is CEPA, the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between Government of UAE and Government of India. We'd like to congratulate both the governments and people, everybody who are behind the agreement making possible. Please give a round of applause. It was 88 days from start to finish, the agreement was formed. The panel today will have a initial opening statement from all the panelists. I will request all the panelists to give a introduction once I'll ask a question to them. But to start the panel, I would like to ask Mr. Colin regarding giving us some backdrop on CEPA. What is CEPA all about, and what are the benefits CEPA brings for the UAE jewelers and the jewelers from India and around the world? Colin, over to you.
Thank you, and thank you for having us here today. So, there is a huge background to CEPA, and one of the, I would say, the main reason behind, I would say, Modi's government going after all these free trade agreements is, I can take note. So, the goal of this government is to reach $1 trillion of exports, out of India. And what they've realized is, post-pandemic especially, that there is a huge opportunity because of the little anti-China sentiment that we see, especially from the West, from even some Gulf countries, and now I guess it's gotten maybe accelerated after the Russia-Ukraine crisis. So keeping that, I would say, geopolitical scenario in the background, what our government in India really wants to do is have FTAs with all their friendly nations. And a clear underlying message in these FTAs is that India has a lot to offer to many of these countries. And similarly, all these countries also have a lot to offer to India. What India brings to the world, I guess, is the second largest population, growing GDP, huge middle class. Obviously, it's going to be a consumption economy in the long run. But with that, we also want exports to be 20-25% of the GDP. So having said that, we've already started on this journey of signing FTAs. And UAE, now coming to the UAE background, so UAE has a very interesting history with India, where what the government realized is in the last few years, that anyways, because of ease of doing business and the taxation which exists in UAE, there is a huge, I would say, Indian businessman. There's a huge number of Indian businessmen who's anyways moved to the Gulf. Okay? And what they realized also is that while we have these NRIs who live here, they interestingly send a lot of money back home. So while India loses out on income tax, in its own country, because otherwise those jobs or businesses could have been in India, but it makes up, I would say 10x, 20x of that on FDI, which comes in, and especially if you take Kerala or you take, even on our business side, and since Mumbai is here, there's a lot of large retailers who obviously are making huge investments even in India, and that's creating manufacturing, services, jobs, other kind of benefits for the GDP. So keeping that as the background, that was their rationale when they did CEPA, is that of course, it's going to encourage a lot of Indian businesses to set up shop in Dubai. And while that means that there will be that much business moving out of India to Dubai, but the FDI which these businesses send back to India will circumvent the whole FDI. That's the broad level. Now coming to the specifics to our industry is, I guess and we have a lot of manufacturers here today, and interestingly, it's happening a day after this agreement happened. I guess Summit maybe knew about this agreement before any of us did. But having said that, I guess what's going to happen is a lot of manufacturing will happen in India, and sales and distribution will happen through Dubai. I guess that's what's going to happen on at least the Indian side. Now, interestingly, and I guess that maybe has some worries for the manufacturer in Dubai, but since we also work, and as an Indian manufacturer also, besides my council have, we work with countries in the West, I can only say with a great deal of assurance that it really hasn't affected the local manufacturing, whether you take America, whether you take Europe, it's actually grown over the years, the number of jobs which are there. What will happen is there will be a certain kind of evolution, the very typical designs for manufacturing quality which is made locally will stay locally. Wherever there is a fast delivery, and luckily for all of us, the world is moving more towards e-commerce, where delivery expectation is 24 to 72 hours, so that will stay. And for Dubai, the advantage is going to be the 150 tons of Dubai manufactured good delivery gold, which will come into India. So without taking much time, I think there's going to be a huge win-win, both sides, once the dust settles in the next 3 quarters.
Thank you, Colin, to give us a high-level insight on CEPA. And I would like to address my next question to Mr. Tawhid Abdullah in terms of regard of the state of jewelry industry and the role Dubai is playing in the region and beyond.
I think Dubai has always been the center of the tourism industry around the world. And why? Because of several reasons. One of them is the very close link from the government department versus our industry. We get a huge support